belt from here, from the other side. Oh, it was an overload. Yeah, no, that's too much for the Fluke 77. It did a full reset. Yeah, that is too many volts for the Fluke 77. Charged up and... Oh, son of a gun, that hurts. Full whack, here we go, 3, 2, 1. Ah! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, I'm sure you heard that. I'm sure you heard that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the electric tennis racket of fly death. We bought it maybe 7 years ago in Taiwan. It's my wife's and she absolutely adores it. It kills flies all over the place in the house. Sadly, it stopped working recently, so we need to pop it open and see if we can find out what's wrong with it, and then perhaps see if we can fix it. All right, let's get the battery compartment open. There we go. Anyway, the batteries I know are good. Lidl's finest aero cells, very similar to a Durex cell. Right, let's get the screwdriver out. Tell you what we will do. We'll just discharge this quickly. Yeah, there we go. No sparks, no bangs. And we'll get the screwdriver out and we'll pop this thing apart and see what's inside. Well, this is quite hilarious. Just as I was popping it apart, I noticed that this red wire here had fallen off. So I think we've got to get the soldering iron out and get that soldered on. So we have a battery-powered soldering iron. There we go. Metal's tinned up nicely. Happy days. This wire is in such poor state. I don't know if it's the Taiwanese weather or Taiwanese cable, but this bit of cable is not working out very well for us. It's sort of turned into a bit of a nightmare, so I'm going, oh yes, I'm going to delid. Look at this beast. A 1.6 kilovolt capacitor. What a beast. We've got a little transformer here. Another little capacitor. Another capacitor. And a single transistor. So I'm guessing when you press the button here, the transistor makes some kind of oscillating circuit and then uses the back EMF of this transformer here to charge the capacitor. Either which way, let's see if we can get this cable soldered up. All right, there we go. A nice fresh bit of solder on there. The negative terminal looks like it's in good shape. Right, let's pop some batteries in. 1, 2 batteries. And let's press the button and see if the red LED lights. Oh, I just saw a glimmer of hope there. I saw a little glimmer of a flash of an LED. There it is. I wonder if there's a problem with the switch. So let's, I've got to do this carefully. I don't want to do an electro boom on myself. I'm going to push the switch in and just, there we go. It's the switch that's given up the ghost. Look, I'll use a screwdriver and I'll short the terminals on the switch. There we go. Look at that. So it's the switch, it's this switch here that's given up the ghost. Let's pull the switch out. Okay, see if we can service this switch. Before we do any of that, let's just, there we go, double check that that capacitor has been grounded. But ultimately it looks like the switch is the problem here. So let's just see if we can pull that apart without, yeah, we can, happy days. So a relatively simple little assembly, a little top hat type button. The grounding device, we'll keep that. You don't really want to be running around with a tennis racket, an electric tennis racket that's fully charged. Oh, I'll tell you what's interesting here actually. Maybe we can move these two terminals to two other terminals on the switch, and perhaps the other two terminals on the switch, contacts inside the switch, are good. I'm pretty sure that if I were to try and take this switch apart, the likelihood is we'd break it trying to take it apart, because it's plastic. There's no metal work here, it's all plastic. So as I say then, let's go ahead and swap these connectors over to another side of the switch, and just maybe we can get away with rotating this switch around. Okay, so let's just tin up a couple of these guys on the other side of the switch. Yeah, that's one tin. There we go, both tinned up. Remove one of these. Oops, there we go. Okay, good. Remove the other one. Right, let's try it. There we go. Now we've got a switch that's working. Okay, so that means that that capacitor is charged. Let's just discharge that. Oof, yeah, okay. So, okay, for fun then. We've got to do it, haven't we? Right, let's charge it up. There we go. That racket and capacitor is now charged. Oh, I'm tempted to get a piece of tin foil. Okay, so I have here a piece of tin foil with a very sharp point on it. Let's charge up the system by pressing the button. LED on, and let's see what it does. Oh my goodness. Ah! Oh. Oh. I just got a belt from it from the other side. Ow! 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 Right. Ooh, that'll be charged. Let's just discharge it. Yeah, it was still ever so slightly charged. I tell you what, it would be really interesting to actually touch it and see what happens. If I there you go. It's ever so slightly charged now. I'm right. Which finger do I which finger do I use least of all? Little finger and dry. Here we go. This might hurt. Ah, yes it does. Yes it does. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, one more go. Charged up and oh, son of a gun, that hurts. No damage to human fingers, which is nice to see. Oh my god. Charge and oh yeah. Yeah, you definitely, trust me, you feel that. That's good. It's the end of my finger going red now. Oh, okay. Well, great news. This is all working and fully tested on human flesh as opposed to fly flesh. Right, reassemble this whole thing and give it back to the wife and show her. But before I do that, let's just have a quick talk about the electronics in here. So when the switch is pressed in, the batteries activate the oscillating circuit, which creates the back EMF, which charges the high voltage capacitor, which dumps the voltage out across the terminals here. And then when the switch is released, there's a couple of bits of metal here, which effectively short this capacitor so that it discharges the capacitor. But yeah, that's ultimately how this circuit works. It's really quite a simple circuit, not too many components in there. There's one transistor, 2 or 3 resistors, and 2 or 3 capacitors, and a coil and an LED. So yeah, really quite a cool little bit of kit. Let's get it reassembled then. Just take a battery out. And this, oh my goodness, I do feel like Electro Boom now. I can't believe I just did that. That was painful, but fun, exhilarating, scary, painful, all at the same time. Okay, so the assembly is relatively simple. This little piece of metal here fits onto the whole assembly. There it is. And so when you click the top hat, it charges it up, and when you release the top hat, it then shorts out that that tennis racket. Now, this is the other thing that's interesting about this tennis racket here. Quite a lot of them, they have a sheet of one polarity on the front in one direction, and then they have like a cross sheet of a different polarity on the back. So if you touch one side, it actually doesn't matter, and if you touch the other side, it doesn't matter. It's only if you were to take your hand and pick it up with both fingers on either side that you would get that shock. This is an unsafe tennis racket because one of these is positive, the next one's negative, the other one's positive, the next one's negative. So ultimately, just touching one side of this tennis racket hurts you, whereas, as I was trying to say, some of the other tennis rackets have the positive charge on one side, the negative charge on the other. So if you just touch it accidentally, it doesn't hurt you. But this one perpetually hurts. Epic, epic, epic stuff. This is actually quite an exciting little project. Let's get this reassembled. Actually, to be honest, this could be the death of a multimeter. I'm not sure what this is rated for. 1600 volts might be a little bit much for it, but ultimately what I've done is I've very loosely connected the positive terminal to one of the pins here. I'm going to put the negative terminal on another pin. I'm going to activate it by pressing the button and see what happens. Hopefully we don't kill the Fluke 77. Oh, it was an overload. Yeah, no, that's too much for the Fluke 77. It did a full reset. Yeah, that is too many volts for the Fluke 77. So the other test to do is the skin test. So ultimately, just put your finger on here, activate it, and guess the voltage. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, you can feel it. Ow, 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 ow. Oh. And so effectively your finger is acting as a resistor, and when you take your finger off the terminals, the capacitor gets more opportunity to charge up. So when you can feel it like that, as you can see, I'm firing it up. You can feel it, and as you release the pressure, the resistance changes and the capacitor gets more opportunity to charge up, and it starts to get more and more painful. Yep. Ow! Ooh, ah! Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's do that again. Ready? Full whack. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ah! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, I'm sure you heard that. I'm sure you heard that. If you didn't, I will definitely. Ah! Proper bit of electro boom with an electrified tennis racket. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you ever so much for watching Dubious Engineering. Really happy I managed to fix this for the wife. She'll be able to kill many more flies with it going forwards. Do take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful week and weekend. Don't forget, give us a good old thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next video. Cheers and beers. Bye for now. Ow. Actually, that actually sort of feels like it actually did a bit of damage there. A little bit of numbness coming